Hello, church family. We are updating some of the requirements we're making to be live or in person for our worship services starting this Sunday, July the 12th. We're making these changes, one, to be in line with what's happening in Madison County and their requirements, but also to provide for you options for the safest in-person worship experience possible. The first one is when you arrive into our parking lot, as I am, obviously, when you leave the car, you're going to need to put on a mask, and you're going to need to wear the mask until you're seated in the worship service. And I'm going to explain some of the options when it comes to worshiping. But first, I'm going to put my mask on, and we're going to walk into our lobby. So let me explain some of the new options we have now when it comes to worship. We're continuing, our 8 o'clock worship service is mask required in our worship center, but we also added our 9:15 and our 10:45 in the venue is also now going to be required for a mask. So if you're going to be in the venue at either service or the 8 o'clock service, you'll need to wear a mask for the entire service. Let me explain the other options we're going to provide now for the other services. Once you enter the worship center, and you're seated, now you're welcome to remove your mask. Remember, we'd like 2 seats in between family units, and we've already have the same spacing that gives us more than 6 feet in between. So if you're in this section, once you're seated, take the mask off and enjoy the service. But we've added something to our main worship center in Huntsville that some people have requested and we think can help people who are a little concerned about what many people say is a dangerous time, which is singing. Let me show you what that's happened. But just since I'm moving, I'm going to wear my mask. Once you come to this section, again, before the service has started, you're welcome to be seated and to remove your mask. This is not a mask-only section. If you want mask-only, please come to 8 o'clock or go to our venue at 9:15 or 10:45. In this section, once you're seated, you can take your mask off. We would ask, once worship begins, in this section, please put your mask back on. Most likely you're going to stand up and sing, but after the worship has ended, after the singing has ended, you are welcome to take your mask off, and then you can listen to the service when you'll be sitting, again, socially distanced, and listen to what's going on. So in this section, again, mask during singing, mask can be off for the rest of the section. Now, I know you may be asking, what about Madison? Well, let's explain what Madison is doing. All right, I've now arrived at the Madison campus, and I'm going to go in and show you the adjustments we're making for our in-person services in Madison. But first, let me put my mask on. Again, we ask once you come into the building, you will keep your mask on and you will retain your mask on until you're seated in the worship center. So follow me and I'll show you the adjustments we've made at the Madison campus. Once you've reached your seat, you can remove your mask. Again, we ask for 2 seats between family units. And then once the worship service starts, participate in worship, enjoy worship, and when the worship ends, you can put on your mask to leave the building. Now, we have made modifications in Madison for those who, one, want to have a mask for the entire service, and those who'd like to wear a mask during the singing portion only. So I'm gonna put my mask on, and I'm gonna show you those sections. Now, in the Madison campus, one change we've made is we now have a section for mask only for the entire service for both the 9:30 and the 11 o'clock service. So if you would like to wear a mask for the entire service, you have this section that you can use. One change we've made, we now have a section available at 9:30 and 11 that is mask for those to wear during singing. Some people are concerned about singing and about projecting. So in that section, when you come into the worship center, you can take your mask off. When we start singing, put the mask on. When the singing is over, take the mask off, enjoy the service, and then you can put the mask back on when you leave. We appreciate you helping us with this. We're trying to be compliant to what our county and state would like. We want to create a safe environment for you. And for those who want to worship in person, we want to make it as easy as possible. So we hope you'll join us in-person worship this Sunday. And again, if not, remember, we're always available online.